Thank you. We're not actually based in Sydney, but all our work is in Sydney. We're based in Newcastle, just to correct you there. But it's true, we did come from London. Essentially what we do is we turn bicycles into electricity generating power stations. So I am an environmental educator. My business partner is an event sustainability consultant, and we thought this would be a really cool thing to do. So we met up with these guys in London. They've started the Cycle in Cinema about 6 years ago. The idea is that it's like a drive-in cinema, but without the cars, where people ride there, they plug their bikes in and they power the show. And it's just one thing that we do. It's the most popular thing, but we piggybacked off them because they spent years developing the current kit that we use. This is the first design where they used a skateboard wheel up against a bicycle wheel to create electricity. These motors can get about 250 watts, but the average person could probably only sustain about 50 over a film. We bought some components and we compiled our first generator using Skype and a little webcam, and they told us where to put what there and what there, because we had no experience in electronics. I tried to build pedal power generators years ago and failed miserably, but through our partnership we got something off the ground. I got a small seeding grant last year and I spent it going to the UK for 3 months to work with these guys. I did the festival season, we built a 20 bike generator, and we did a series of events and workshops, and I learnt by osmosis and had a really good time along the way. Thank you to the former Department of Environment and Climate Change. They also launched their dream while I was there, coincidentally. They had this dream to build a Cycle in Cinema. This was the first time they did it. They used 20 bikes to project a regular, like a normal, something like this size projection. We use much smaller projections when we do events currently. And they transmitted the audio through an FM transmitter, so it was like a drive-in cinema. I also spent a week with their electrical engineer building our kit to bring back to Australia. Had enormous amounts of trouble because I built them in ammunition boxes and they looked like bombs, and they got held up at customs and I had to dismantle everything, and that created a lot of tension. Ironically, Magnificent Revolution Australia's first job was in Hong Kong. We went to the Detour Festival. The theme was use less. We didn't try and fly our equipment over because of the bomb-like quality of it. So we built it out of scrap we found around Hong Kong. That was an old wine case we stole off a street seller. We spent 2 weeks there. In the first week we built the kit with all the festival goers. We showed them how to build it all. You can see our speakers are made out of cardboard boxes, and then we toured it around the city where we popped up cinemas. This is at Occupy Hong Kong, and we also did it at the festival as well. Came back to Australia, did a series of workshops trying to get people excited about pedal power. We've got a few people that live in Sydney that work with us now, and a few people in Newcastle. This is our base up in the top corner there. That's I have a shipping container on an old bowling green in Newcastle where I store everything. We also do kinetic, like interactive art installations. This is something we did at Object Gallery during the Try This at Home series. It was a switch-operated bicycle by Jessica Coughlin, a Newcastle artist, and this is a UK artist, Termite Head, and he makes wooden sculptures that we reverse the motors in the generator to make the monster cycle with the people while they're pedalling. Rebuilt the kit because we had a big gig in Taylor's Square, some of you might have heard, the Cycle in Cinema with COFA and the City of Sydney in February. We brought it all down on the train because we're a bit green like that. And there it is, Taylor's Square. This is where we finally worked out that it was going to happen. It actually worked. I felt really like an electronics whiz. And we had 8 bikes which powered 3 nights of screenings. There are ammunition/bombs in the foreground there. We worked with a crew called Technical Event Services. They do our AV, and they also work with solar, so it's a perfect marriage. We screened films from local filmmakers, international filmmakers. We had about 500 people over the 3 nights attend, and it was really good publicity for us as a small organisation. We've been piggybacking off that ever since. I haven't had to do any direct marketing because I just keep getting inquiries. People get really excited about it. The best thing about the cinema is that at the end of it, everyone claps. No one ever does that anymore, I think, because everyone feels like they've put their self into it. 8 bikes power about 400 to 800 watts of energy, so we work back from that with our production. We've done a lot of community events and paid events. This is a Earth Hour with North Sydney Council. This is the People's Blockade of the world's biggest coal port in Newcastle, where we powered a solar stage for performers during the day. We've since developed an energy stall because we're an education project. We want to show people what energy actually feels like, because we've done the fear campaign, we've done the education. Now I want to make people actually sweat for it and realise what they're doing when they turn on a kettle. We show people they could actually feel the difference between different light bulbs, appliances and all that. We've just been awarded a grant with the Office of Environment Heritage to develop a series of workshops and kits that we can give to schools to teach primary and secondary kids about energy. It's a really good hands-on introduction to electronics, cycling, fitness, technology. We're branching out into the weirdest of places. This is Magnificent Revolution Slovakia, and they've been running for about a year now. They're about to upgrade to their 20-bike generator system. It's just started in Kazakhstan, and we've also just been talking to some people in Colombia. I'm currently trying to raise some money to go on a European tour, so if anyone's keen on helping me with that, that would be great. And we're interested to collaborate with people all the time. So if you've got an idea that we haven't thought of, or maybe something that we have and you've got some ways to make it happen, please get in touch, because our minds are open.